Sorry, Joe. That is an area for this team where they've had problems. You know, we talked about early in the game or early in the season how they were turning the ball over and they were taking the sacks, negative plays. But this is the third most penalized team in football as well. And it hasn't just been one side of the ball. I mean, both sides have been penalized a lot. And Taysom Hill, when he's in, it's heavy run. He's, as you mentioned earlier, he's only thrown 8 passes.
He hands off here. Washington is swallowed up in the backfield. Play is made by Owe, and he was not alone, a loss of 2. So they get a nice play on first down. Then they get the false start, and now they're in 3rd and long again.
Yeah, Odafe Owe, he's right there. And then if he's not able to make the play, then you got Marcus Peters. And I like the way these corners have been rallying to the football. But Owe is a guy who was a first-round pick a year ago and has been inconsistent, you know, quite honestly, here through the season. But he makes a nice play there.
They might have just gotten the 5 yards back. And they did. Houston.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 50. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, you mentioned earlier the ageless Justin Houston at 33 years old, and you know he obviously is not what he once was, but he is still bringing it. I mean, he leads the team in sacks, and you know he was planning on getting another one there, 3rd and long. He was going to come after Dalton.
He's got 7 on the year and 5 in his last 3 games. 3rd down and 3 now. The pass is caught, but short of first down yardage as Juwan Johnson backs out of bounds. Chuck Clark.
What is up? Monday Night Football, and we're going for 2-yard passes on 3rd and 3.
Well, that's maddening for Dennis Allen. When you complete a pass.
What a season. What a season. All right, we're going to turn the volume down on this.
Relatively short yardage, and you don't pick up the first down.
Maybe. How's everyone doing? The Eagles and the Vikings are the top 2 teams in football right now, both NFC teams looking at 8-0 and 7-1. The number 3 team headed to play the number 2 team this week in Minnesota. Possibly sans Josh Allen, minus 3 top cornerbacks, minus number 1 defensive end rusher, minus our second best linebacker. It has been a season for the Buffalo Bills, but hey, said it from the start. The team that wins the Super Bowl is generally the team that has the healthiest talent at the end. I mean, it is what it is. Who can stay healthy? You know, the exception to that would have been the Eagles a few years ago when Nick Foles, the backup quarterback that no one expected to get him through, gets him through. He wins the Super Bowl, wins MVP of the Super Bowl, I believe, too. And, you know, they had a great team that year, but really it was a bunch of guys who worked together, got hot at the right time. It's about getting hot at the right time. If the Buffalo Bills are going to have a lull, I'd rather it be in week 9, 8, 9, and 10 of the season. Getting a lot of messages. So, a lot to get to. We're going to start ripping. I hope you all had a great weekend. You guys hurt me bad on Friday. I mean, hurt me. I was my brother can attest to it. He called me. He goes, I have a little piece of tape on this to hold it up on the picture so it didn't fall over because it kept falling. No, my brother calls me on Saturday and he talks to me. He couldn't get a hold of me all day. I'll tell you why. But he called me. He goes, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm really not." Oh, my camera froze. Hold on. You guys hurt me so bad. I know. I think I'm gonna do that. Let me fix this camera first. Let me focus on this. Come on. I think I do. I need to take a class this winter on how to administer IV treatments so that I can truly just put a Blaze and Break sponsored IV station in here, hook straight up to it. What you called me not being eligible on Saturday, I was a day-to-day injury report for Saturday and Sunday. Clearly was not eligible or capable of playing either of those days. Sunday I did some drinking, and then the Bills lost, and I did a lot more drinking. I do like the liquid IVs. I got to get more of those. I really do. I think they do work. Good luck to everyone in the break. But it was fun, right? Like, so it was worth it. If we would have just been sitting up and not really doing anything fun, that would have been one thing. But that was one of my favorite nights we've had in a long time. Doug mentioned it today and said, like I said, it's about as much, I think I said it to Doug, it is about as much fun as you can have alone in your house at our age, right? Like, I could play video games. My son's been getting me into Fortnite. I could have done that. I could have sat and watched a movie. But dude, I'll tell you this, that was so much fun to sit and get hammered up with you guys. But the older I get, the harder it is. Obviously, it costs us breaks on Saturday and on Sunday. Real quick as I break this, remember, we'll do an NIL random at the end, and all NIL cards will go to one person at the end. It is not registered to any team, so all NIL cards will go to one person at the end. It will be one random, whether it's autos, base cards, whatever. So clarify a few things here. I think, yes, losing to the Jets was a very, very, very tough loss, but I know Chris doesn't believe me, but those games genuinely scare me more than the Chiefs games do, the Rams games, the Titans games. And again, those teams are down this year, but those big games, because I believe that we're expected to win those games, but oftentimes those teams are underrated. The Jets may arguably have the best defense in the AFC right now. I don't want to give them both conferences. There's a Jalen Watermeyer Chrome going out to the Colts. But in the AFC, they may have the best. Now, again, you will, like, NIL spot. You'll get the Stroud. You'll get the Bryce Young, things like that. Kyle Hamilton out of 299. He's on the Ravens. Right? That's the Ravens one. Daubs went down the 1 week that I bet on Daubs to score, and he goes down in the first quarter. Hank Bachmeier, I think he's NIL. We will confirm at the end. I wanted to get a box of this in, man. We haven't opened this for a while. I think it's an underrated product. I really do. I think next year, since 23 is going to be delayed, some of these guys we're going to be really hunting for, and Bowman, you'll be like, hey, you got any of that Bowman? I really do. And Deuce Vaughn, again, going to look these two up at the end of the box. I won't wait till the end of the break. Deuce Vaughn, oh, what are you? Wow, Lamar completed that? That's crazy. I know, Bowman, I love it. It may get licensed, but I'm not going to be surprised. Let's just talk about this for a minute. There's a Jalen Tolbert. If I will not be shocked if, for some reason, Fanatics pulls back on that deal and says, hey, we need to reevaluate our position in this deal, saying that we offered stuff we can't come through, and just kind of maybe go back on that deal. It could happen. I'm just saying that I think they're inundated and overwhelmed with what they're doing with baseball. So I don't know necessarily that they're going to end up. I could be way off. Who knows? A lot can happen between now and the time they're to take over. Is that another pass by Likely? No, it's not. Is it? Who's number 84? Oh, Josh Oliver. Ricky Vaughn. So I want to get to the Bills, like the Bills game, and you saw me post it prior to the game start. I said I have odd feelings of the Miami game, and the Miami game had a lot to do with the Heat and stuff. But what I meant by that was a team that going up against a team that has a really good defense, and our defense being depleted. And you know what? That game almost looked exactly like the Miami game. Almost the Bills-Jets. If you watch it, you could have put the Miami jerseys on them and it almost looked the same. It was just, we couldn't get offense going. Josh Allen probably looked a bit worse in that Jets game, but I think the Jets defense is a little bit stronger than the Miami defense. I would be honest, a lot stronger than the Jets, or than the Miami defense. There's a nice Matt Corral. That is the Invictus. But either way, the biggest news coming out, and I saw this on Bill's page, they're like, why are we not talking about what happened with Josh's arm? And I thought the same thing, but there's a Kenny Pickett. And there's a Zach Evans etch. I'll just say this. There's a Brandon Peters numbered out of 299. Again, probably going to the NIL spot. Yeah, Chris, it was like they had an off week against New England. You know, Jets had been rolling, and then they played horribly, and then they saved it up for the Bills. Sauce, I mean, is there a chance outside of injury Sauce doesn't win Defensive Rookie of the Year? So anyhow, real quick I get all these messages about Josh Allen. What do you think? I mean, here's the fact of the matter is, Josh Allen's, there's a nice Kate Otten. Josh Allen's injury doesn't matter if we can't get shit together on defense, if we can't get healthy, and we can't get figured out. Like, I mean, we're just in a little bit of a slump. There's a Bryce Young that's going to go to the NIL, Invictus. And it is what it is, you know? It's okay to have down weeks. We're still first in the AFC. I'm not stressing yet. Obviously, Josh Allen news coming out is a huge thing. But if it were me, right now, in the position that we're in, I am shutting down Josh Allen for a couple weeks. Just get him right. If the elbow is, regardless of elbow, if he's hurting, shut him down. Don't let him irritate it. Don't let him instigate. Don't let him get it worse. I'm shutting down the defense. Rousseau. I'm shutting down, Poyer. I'm shutting down Milano. I'm getting these guys healthy. I know it sounds insane, right? Who would do such a stupid thing? I'm shutting them down. I know, it's unheard of, right? And you're getting them healthy. Just get them healthy. Now, a player can come back after 3 weeks of injury and then get hurt again. I get that. But the thing is, if we continue to nurse these injuries, if we continue to milk these injuries, we're never going to get healthy, and we're just going to continue to do this. I don't know. We're not winning shit if we don't get healthy. I'll put it that way. There's a nice Matt Corral. These cards are nice. I say that every time I open these. I do like the select. There's a Desmond Ritter. And thank you guys for jumping in. Oh, there we go. Tyler Goodson. They may need him. There's a Mac Jones hyper. And Aiden Hutchinson. That's going to be out of 75. Hutchie going out to the Lions. Lions with a big win over the Packers. I have not got to watch a lot of the interviews. I like to watch those. Apparently, Roger said some things. I saw where Allen called him. Oh, what an overthrow. I saw where, Allen said he played like shit. It's hard to win when your quarterback plays like shit. Which I like when our quarterback takes the lead and says, hey, this is on me. But, I mean, dude, Daubs, I don't know how long Daubs is out for. He was carted off. Aaron Jones is apparently his x-rays were negative. But they lost a guy on defense, the defensive side of the ball for the season. The Packers did. Things are not looking good for the Packers. They have 3 wins on the season. Again, everyone's counting them out, but with this year and half the season left, I'm not counting those guys out. I think we got a case hit coming up. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm going to shut the hell up for a minute. Jalen Wydermyer going out to the Colts. We got a Debo. Ben Roethlisberger numbered out of 199. And look at this. It is going to be out of 25. It's not a case hit, but it is the tie-dye Malik Willis. Beautiful card going out to the Tennessee Titans. There you go, fresh to death. I mean, dude, I would feel a lot better if the Titans would have won last night over the Chiefs. Listen, I will say this. If the Chiefs lose last night, I feel a lot better. And it's Sauce lose on some side. And I something I wanted to say here, and I read Tyler's comment, bitter. Shoot, what was I going to say? Mother effer! Dang it, I forget. Pierce is a close second. I think you have to still have a winning team to be on the Rookie of the Year MVP side. You have to still be making a difference that leads to victories because of your play. Sauce is literally the reason the Jets are winning games, has almost everything to do with Sauce's performance, right? I'm not saying that Kenneth Walker isn't putting up the kind of numbers that's leading to that, right? And it very well could be. But they were winning before he got in. They were having a good season before he got in. You got to give a lot of that credit to Geno. You got to give a lot of credit to that DK, Tyler Lockett having a season. But again, Kenneth Gainwell, a huge part of it. Or not Kenneth Walker, not Gainwell. Kenneth Walker, a huge part of that. I'm not taking that away. But again, I think you have to take those kind of things into account. Yeah, same thing with like Olave. It's hard to say, offensive rookie of the year when there's a cool Bo Jackson. When they're not really winning games because of him. He may be having great play, but they're not necessarily winning games because of it. Look at this. Matt Corral Tiger Stripe going out to Carolina. James Eisman. It is so unfortunate he got hurt because if he didn't, I can't imagine that he would not be playing right now. Yesterday, Baker Mayfield comes in when they're down 42-0. Well, after Joe Mixon scores his 19th touchdown of the day, and Baker Mayfield comes in, doesn't set the world on fire, but scores 2 touchdowns and gets a little action going. Carolina doesn't know what they are. They don't know who they are. They don't know what the hell they're doing. This guy goes down prior to the season starting. It would have been nice to see him get a chance. Hey, and look at this. Drake London on the track going to Atlanta. Nice little box here. Dude, that was a nice box. I need Lamar to run this in so bad here. Get it in. Get it in. Ugh, I need him to score. Not a throwing touchdown either. Drake London. Man, this box was nice. And a Thibodeau out of 35. I don't know. Yeah. Who are our candidates, guys? Let's go over them for offensive rookie of the year. You have, Kenneth Walker. You have Dameon Pierce. You have Chris Olave. Am I missing anyone that's really? Am I missing anybody that's really in the running as of right now? Things can change over the next couple weeks. Because if I'm picking out of those 3. I gotta be honest. I gotta say it's Kenneth Walker, right? Like, I see the argument for Pierce, but because the Hawks are playing it the way they are, and you know me, I'm straight up honest with it. I'm not trying to like tailor or cater to anyone right now. Dude, check this box out. This is a nice box. And the hutch here. I forgot about that. Dude, look at this box. We had the Malik Willis out of 25, tie-dye. Oh, my camera bumped. Hold on. Give me a second here. Yeah, I mean, Pickett would really have to step it up. I just don't think you can just do that because he's a quarterback. Pierce with Olave current odds. If I'm betting, I'm going Olave plus 700. Only because those odds are just beautiful. I don't know if too many things can happen. All it takes is, especially with a running back, all it takes is Kenneth Walker getting a knee injury and he's out 3 weeks, and it's going to be really hard for him to recover. Not only that, we saw what happened with Josh Jacobs his rookie season. He had like an amazing season and he still didn't win. Now, Kyler had a great year that year. If the Steelers would make playoffs as a result of Pickett, yeah, that's probably true. A lot of season left. I'm with you, Seth. That's what it blows my mind. Let me show you this real quick, just to recap. Not the water my really, but Drake London, Willis out of 25, Matt Corral zebra stripe, the Hutchie out of 75, and the Thibodeau white out of 35. What an awesome box that was there. That product is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So, to Seth's comment, a lot of season left. There really, really is. And what bothers me is the overreaction that happens every week. It happens more in cards, I think, than it does. But like just a couple weeks ago, let's go back preseason. Everyone hating on Hurts. And now everyone's like, I'm buying Hurts. Buying Hurts. Buying Hurts. And I think that it's... hold on. I was thinking there was a base in the back. It can change so quickly. In the event that the Eagles come out and lose 2 games, all of a sudden everyone's off them. But why? Because they lose 2 games. We are a what have you done for me right now, and that's all that matters. Tyron Davis Price. going out of 99. But yeah, I mean, that's how the league goes anymore. You have to perform every game or they forget about you. 74 out of 74, CeeDee Lamb. By the way, how about Kirk Cousins and his dance, and then Shefty coming on and trying to... What was that? Why? I'm so baffled at what... Like, the Kirk thing was weird enough, right? And then Shefty feels like it was appropriate enough to imitate it. I don't get that. Here we go. Ooh, what is that? Oh, Nicky Chubb, numbered out of 47, critical mass, best running back in football. Going out to the Cleveland Browns, Long Joshua. Little two color in there. A little stitching action. And we have a Stingley for the Texans. Numbered out of 50. Stingley for the Texans. I will say this. So anyhow, last night, I was still recovering last night. And I obviously had quite a few drinks after that Bills game. So I told my wife, hey, I'm going to head to bed early. I was laying in bed, like sleeping at 9:30. So I wasn't really paying too much mind to the game. And it's going to be a Romeo Doubs. Speaking of him, he was on the way to, like, kind of having the season that maybe we were starting to include him. If the Packers win a few, he scored against Buffalo. He had another touchdown through the year. He was starting to be Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. And then he went down. Rodgers literally had no one to throw to. There we go, Doubs. But so anyhow, so I wake up and I look at my phone and my brother had sent me, anybody else bet the boost? I'm like, I wonder what happened in that game because I saw he won a bet. Derrick Henry scored 2. I'm like, interesting. Derrick Henry scored 2 touchdowns. Like, was it late? What was going on if he's running the ball? The game's in overtime. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm incoherent, like I wake up from drinking in the middle of like 11:30 at night and it's in overtime. And dude, the Titans were competing, and all I could think about was if Ryan Tannehill was in that game and they ran Derrick Henry, could they have won that game? I feel like when Ryan Tannehill played, they didn't want to run the ball. You know that? Like they wanted Tannehill to throw so much. But now Malik Willis is in, and all of a sudden it's okay to just run Henry and let Willis throw the ball 15 times. Can we get Tannehill back in there? And maybe let Derrick Henry run the ball like that. I don't know. Thoughts? And I think what, more than anything, listen, the Chiefs looked awesome on offense, but they couldn't quite get the ball. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone, in OT, and really for most of the game. I mean, only put up 17 points until overtime. There's a Tom Brady. Dude, it was cool to see him win yesterday. He got emotional with his coach. Looked good. Was excited. Honestly, I've never really loved the guy a ton, but all the shit he's gone through, whether it's self-inflicted or not, it was cool to see him get the win, unless you're a Rams fan. It was cool to see him get the win. It was against the Rams, right? Was it? No, I forget. But like, he, end of the game, got fired up, was happy, pretty emotional. Cool for him. Now, here's a guy. Let's talk about this guy. Did you see his 2 plays where... And they gave a lot of credit to him for Kenneth Walker's touchdowns. He did the old fake and got the defense to turn around on him. So there was an open field for Walker. This dude, come on now. Let's give him a little bit of credit. Metcalf tearing it up. Did you see the old head fake for the catch? I saw some replays of it. It was pretty solid. He did it not once, but twice. Metcalf kind of gets the assist on the Walker touchdowns. Metcalf doing it all. The little things, man. The little things. Barkley, we didn't get to see him this week. They had an off week. Otten's first TD is a game winner. We pulled his stuff tonight. And then Sky Moore. But yeah, just so much going on in the league. I mean, we have teams that only have 3 wins that are still they're still in the conversations of going to the playoffs. That's how crazy this season is. Speaking of him, there he is with a nice 3-color swatch going out to Christian Brown. Nice swatch there. Kenneth Walker. There he is. favorite for Rookie of the Year, Kenneth Walker. And then we got the guy who got shot but can play, although Michael Thomas can't with a hangnail. Brian Robinson. What a comeback story for him. Brian Robinson Jr. for the Washington Commanders. Cool card. Going out to Trevor Brown. There you go, Trevor. Coming up on the last card of the night, we will do 2 $5 hitless credits and in lieu of a paper football tonight. Because I want to get those all sorted out tomorrow. We got a lot going on. Tomorrow morning is going to be a full day of me posting fantasy score winners, updating all the fantasy scores, getting all that done all morning tomorrow. I'm going to give out 2 FanDuel spots. Since this is the last week, we're going to double down on that and hold off on the paper football. So we're just going to give an extra fantasy spot out instead. And it's going to be for the, man, this game was good. I watched a lot of this game, honestly. Velus Jones Jr., Chicago Bears, going out to Chris Bertrand. There we go. Bears getting in on some action this week. Justin Fields setting a record for QBs in the modern era, the Super Bowl era. 171 or 174 rushing yards. Quite a record. I don't know. It's going to take a lot to beat that, but of course these running backs or these I really didn't mean that. These running quarterbacks continue to get better every year. You know, your Lamar's, your Josh Allen's, your obviously your Justin Fields, guys who I think it's I've been saying I don't think there's anything wrong. People say about Lamar, oh, he's a running back. You almost seems to be, yet a quarterback hasn't won one yet. A quarterback hasn't won the Super Bowl that plays like that yet. But I think it is the way of the future for quarterbacks. You're going to have to use your legs. 170 loss. Well, I mean, they'll get it figured out. They're young yet. He was the RB1 yesterday. I told Chris, I said, I wish I could have played him in my RB spot. I had him in a couple leagues. Sky Moore, DK Metcalf to 199, Brady to 299, CD Lamb out of 74, Tyron Davis Price. I think he had more yards or more fantasy points rushing than Josh Allen did in the game yesterday. Bryce Young, again, that'll go to our NIL spot. There's a nice Matt Corral on Victica. Brandon Peters out of 299. Hamilton out of 299. This is some nice stuff. It all came out of our select box too. Malik Willis out of 25. Matt Corral, white zebra stripe, white and black zebra stripe. The Hutchie out of 75. And the Kayvon Thibodeau out of 35. All right, here we go for our hits. Hitting it up. Kenneth Walker, Seattle Seahawks, going out to... Oh, I got to fix this here. Seattle Seahawks is going out to Christian Brown with a nice 3-colored chunky swatch. You guys are quiet tonight, man. I missed you the last couple days. We will get back to it tomorrow. I got to get situated with fantasy scores, both baseball and football, paper football, all that. And then we'll post probably a PYT tomorrow. I don't think anything comes out this week for football or anything. Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns going to Long Joshua. Who scored the second touchdown for the Ravens? I missed it. Damn it. I was talking too damn much. Kenyon Drake rushed it in. And then we had Velus Jones Jr. for the Chicago Bears going out to Bertrand. Brian Robinson for the Washington football team going out to Trevor Brown. We had the Romeo Dowds to the Green Bay Packers going out to Stan K. Drake London on the track, Atlanta Falcons going out to David P. The Jalen Watermeyer for the Indianapolis Colts going out to Special K. You guys are too quiet tonight. And Tyler Goodson for the Green Bay Packers. And we also had the Derek Stingley for the Houston Texans. I got to look up these two. Scott, you get that one. That's numbered out of 52. I got to check on these two guys right here. Deuce Vaughn. Make sure he's... Deuce Vaughn is Kansas State Wildcats. Is still NIL, so that'll go to the NIL spot. Yeah, Jeremy, we probably will do a baseball break tomorrow. Like I said, in the morning, I'm going to get us all settled away with, and Hank Bachmeyer is NIL as well. I'm going to get us all squared away. I want to catch up on credits and all that first. I don't want to go any more breaks until we do all that. Was that Olive that caught that? Dude can ball. Was that him? I had a couple people ask me, Jeremy, is there a product specifically you would like to see? All right, first things first, we're going to give away the NIL cards. And because it's multiple autos, we're going to, it's going to count as a hit. So it will go towards hitless credits. Yeah, let me know if there's something you would like to see. NIL cards, Mineral 5. Here we go. Everyone's eligible. Anybody that is interested in baseball, what would you like to see? Nothing. Oh, and I want to say this. There was some talk about it, like, ask me how I felt about the call at the end of the Bills game. That was not PI. I don't believe it was. I think it was a great no call. Green Bay Packers are getting it. Would I have liked to see a flag there? Not really, because then there's all this speculation. I mean, of course, it would have been nice to win the game, have a shot at a field goal, go into overtime. I hear you, Jeremy. There's some good baseball products out, so I can get that in. All right, we're going to do 2 $5 hitless credits, and we're going to do 2 fantasy spots. But no, it was not. Now, I heard the Bears game ended with a rough no PI call. I saw pictures. It's tough to go on pictures with that. You know, I feel like they can be manipulated, but I got to see the play. I heard from a few people the Bears and the Bills both got screwed. I'm like, not really. The Bills, I mean, it hit them between the numbers. The Ravens and the Giants getting that. That's going to be Ian Hunt and Stan K. I mean, anytime the ball hits you between the numbers and you have access with your hands, which he did have access with his hands, it wasn't like he was restricted. And not only that, he was given as much push as the defender was given on him, and I believe that's a let him play situation. I'd rather them not call that. 2 second half season spots. It was just a little hug. Can't let that determine the game. See, all right. So, I didn't get to watch that. I mean, the Bills game went to the very end, Chris. So, and the worst part of it was normally we would be able to flip back to Red Zone. We had to change inputs on the TV to go from YouTube TV to our Red Zone because DirecTV was battling it out with Channel 22, local channel where the Bills game was on. So, they didn't have the game on. It was weird. Niners and the Vikings is going to be Dylan and the Vikings. Jeremy Wilson. I'm going to talk about them this week. Dylan McNeil and Jeremy Wilson. Jeremy, you got a spot there in football. So this is our last week to get these. This will start like Friday. We're going to close this up. Maybe we'll add a player or two Saturday. And Wilson, you did not have one up to this point, right? We did not. So you are in. So it's cool. Listen, guys, you all are all way too quiet tonight. Maybe we'll switch to baseball, see how we can get a recap on the World Series situation, see them. Prizes all coming out tomorrow. We'll see where we're at on that. But, guys, thanks for coming in, hanging out. Sorry I was MIA the last 2 nights. We'll get back to it. Maybe throw up some interesting stuff this week. Have a little fun. I have some things we're working on this week as far as new ways to maybe do a break or two. So maybe we'll try those out, all right? They're showing the Bills-Jets recap now. I really hope Josh Allen doesn't need surgery. I can see him being out 2 or 3 weeks, but surgery's going to hurt a little bit. He'd be done for the year. All right, guys. Deuces.